So. Hallo. Und herzlich willkommen zum heutigen Livestream. So.
Persona 4 Arena.
Mal schauen, wann Test da ist. Wie geht's? Gut, gut. Wie immer ein Tag. Nicht schlecht. War einkaufen. Bock auf den Stream. Natürlich. Immer. Immer. Besonders zwei Spiele fangen wir heute an. Ocarina of Time 3D und Tokyo Jungle. Kann ich endlich den Dings benutzen. Zum ersten Mal richtig. Das Overlay für den 3DS. Und ja. Schauen wir mal, wie es läuft. Joa. So. Okay, also wir waren mit Aegis Zeug, Story. Der Anfang von ihrer Story war irgendwie ein bisschen komisch, hat nicht so ganz zu dem eigentlichen Spiel gepasst. Ah ja, mal schauen, wie es weitergeht. Next day, May 2nd, 2012. We wanted to pursue the vehicle carrying Labris as soon as the hijacking was over, but its complicated route made it hard to track. Due to the sensitive nature of the cargo, it is difficult to set up large-scale traffic checkpoints. Fortunately, the license plate number was determined quickly and we got a rough estimate of its destination. Our headquarters was moved to a police facility, Mitsuru-san, and our team are sorting out the situation to plan for an operation.
And the interrogation of the suspects?
It's begun, but all of them are claiming that their memories at the time are very foggy, so they've been sent in for evaluation. The psychologists who interviewed them think it's possible they're not lying.
So none of the 5 have any memories of what happened during the hijacking.
Normally that would seem preposterous. There may have been some hypnotic effect, but even then...
We're dealing with someone after materials from Ergo research. They'll likely be very well informed about shadows and the mind. Knowing that, it doesn't seem so strange. It would also explain the extreme lengths they went to create a decoy. What else do we know?
Another team member answers Mitsuru-san's question.
Since the cage storing the 5th generation is too large to transport by personal auto, we narrowed our search to large vehicles that left the airport. That, combined with the testimony from our observer and data from the transmitter, allowed us to pinpoint the vehicle in question. The police are already pursuing it via the N system. This is the most recent photo.
We are number 1 würde jetzt super zum Spiel passen. He hands the tablet to Mitsuru-san.
The Inaba area. Wasn't this the place where...
Yes, our routine investigation last year rated the potential shadow activity in the area at level 4.
It seems that the culprit in this case definitely had prior knowledge of shadows after all. If that is true, we must use extra caution. Many people do not know about shadows, though they are enough of a threat as to possibly destroy the world. Then again, I experienced that for myself 3 years ago. If someone is trying to manipulate them, we must prevent it at all costs.
Let's talk about the stolen 5th generation unit. I guess, as the 7th generation, would be her younger sister.
A sister? My older sister.
I'd like to know why she was sealed.
5th-generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labris. The records show her to be the first model fitted with an artificial personality.
In other words, she has a heart?
There's no knowing if it was developed enough to call it that. She seems to have been made to gather test data rather than actual field use.
What are her combat capabilities?
She wasn't given firearms, since her regulatory system was inadequate, so she was instead loaded with some kind of special equipment. Unfortunately, the majority of the records pertaining to her are missing, which means that's the extent of our knowledge.
Special equipment.
We also don't know why she was sealed. Many of the documents regarding the old Ergo research were lost, probably to cover up incriminating evidence. We don't even know what she looks like. All we do know is that she was a life-sized android.
We'll just have to find out along the way.
Mitsuru-san swipes her fingers across the tablet a few times and shows it to an 8.
I'll need these 3 individuals' cooperations. I'd like to join them in the field.
Are you sure about this?
Try not to make a scene when fetching them. Not all of them are part of our organization.
Hello, Broken. The aide nods his assent and returns to his station. Mitsuru-san then turns her gaze on me.
And I guess, frankly, I think we can assume that there'll be combat involved. Will you be alright with that?
Though Mitsuru-san doesn't say it out loud, I understand what she means. Our highest priority in this operation is to stop the culprit and mitigate any associated danger. Not to rescue Labris. What? Not to rescue her. Of course, we will strive to accomplish both, but in the worst case scenario, we must consider the option of destroying Labris. Destroying a sister unit, it will be a painful experience if she too has a heart.
I thank you for your concern, but I'll be fine. I will do my duty.
Mitsuru-san says nothing more and silently nods.
Well then, once we can confirm our target is headed to Inaba, we'll depart at once.
Okay. May 3rd, 2012. As we get ready to depart for Inaba, Mitsuru-san and I go over last-minute details inside the police station. Mitsuru-san is absorbed with issuing instructions over the cell phone she's holding. Pessimism seeps into my heart as I wait, but I begin muttering to myself.
Will we be able to find Labris? My sister?
Mitsuru-san's surprised voice makes me realize how unlike me these doubts are.
Will we be able to save her? Isn't that what you really want to ask? Don't worry, as I mentioned to Akihiko, fighting Labris is not our priority. The reason I formed this shadow operative team is to save lives. We will find her, whatever it takes, and bring her back. We can do this.
Yes. I'm sorry to be so pessimistic.
Those feelings you have for Labris, you should tell her when you see her.
I will.
Friends bound by trust are irreplaceable indeed. I hope that Labris will become one as well. Eventually, the preparations are made and our limousine departs on its journey to Inaba. That evening, we are in Inaba now and traveling down a midtown street. Though it is called Midtown, it is very different from an urban environment. It is a quite rustic road. The vehicle we are targeting is easily discovered. The transmitter that was attached to it when it left from the airport is, luckily for us, still active. But the vehicle has been abandoned and the cargo is gone as well. To trace it further, we must learn why the culprit came here. Specifically, we need to know the details of what happened here last year. Though this was already assumed, so we have a plan. Mitsuru-san orders the driver to park nearby. However, this poses an unexpected problem. Our vehicle is a long, black, 8-door limousine. It stands out badly in this countryside town, no matter where it's parked.
Mitsuru-san, our activities are supposed to be undercover, correct?
Yes.
For undercover missions, it will be necessary to keep all personnel and vehicles from being noticed.
Right.
Mitsuru-san, may I say something that I've been meaning to say for a while now?
No.
Understood.
All I told them was to give us a car with enough space.
Wherever we go, people peer into the windows out of curiosity. We avoid the public eye as much as possible and finally park in what looks like a site for vehicle disposal on the outskirts of the town.
Our contact has arrived.
I then notice a middle-aged man in a grey suit standing outside of the window. I recognize his face. He is one of the 3 collaborators Mitsuru-san contacted before our departure. I scoot over to the door and open the window.
Oh my. This was not our designated meeting area, yet he has discovered us.
Oh my. Suddenly something not unlike astonishment or discouragement appears on his face.
You want to know how I did it?
We appreciate your cooperation, Detective Kurosawa.
Mitsuru-san gets out of the vehicle and slightly bows. 3 years ago, when we were still fighting shadows in secret, Detective Kurosawa worked as a police officer at a nearby police box. He believed that our intentions were good and he supplied us with certain conveniences under the table. His job made this risky, but he always acted on behalf of what he believed to be just. He said this many times while supporting us in secret. He's a strong man who always acts on his beliefs. But now our organization has official government sanction. He can now cooperate with us without it being considered a rebellious act. Kurosawa-san's prior actions have recently been reassessed. He was promoted for his special expertise. I have heard that he is now a plainclothes detective working at the Central Precinct.
Long time no see, miss. And Aegis, was it?
Indeed. It has been a while.
Kurosawa-san fixes his eyes on Mitsuru-san and me. It is faintly awkward. We are both dressed for combat, and I am not wearing clothes that camouflage my nature.
Oh, sorry for staring. A humanoid weapon. I was skeptical when I heard, but seeing you in person doesn't leave any room for doubt.
I'm sorry that I kept it hidden back then.
It's alright. It would have caused more of a headache if you'd gone around looking like that.
Hearing him say that, I cannot help but smile.
Seeing you laugh like that makes it harder to believe you're a machine.
I shouldn't make you stand while we talk. Please, get in.
Ah, sorry. I haven't seen you in a while, so I had a lot to say.
Mitsuru-san asked Kurosawa-san to collect information on the serial murder case that occurred in this town last year. When background research was carried out across Japan at the end of 2011, this region returned high numbers in shadow detection measurements. But although it was investigated, there were no effects apart from slightly unnatural weather. Then again, what if something did happen that was just hard to detect? Mitsuru-san suspects that the serial murder case was related to these shadows and asked Kurosawa-san to have the local police force share their reports. We could have requested them directly, but what we wanted would not be the surface information found in the investigation records. There are limits to what an unofficial unit cloaked by authority can do with a direct request.
I found out quite a bit regarding the case you had me look into. First, I reviewed the report on the incidents from last year. One of the suspects mentioned the word persona.
I lock gazes with Mitsuru-san.
So what went on here last year?
It's probably related, but I wasn't done there. Parts of this guy's testimony were even more outlandish. If you can take what's in the record at face value, it seems persona users can enter TVs within the Inaba region.
Enter TVs? What does that mean?
Just what it sounds like. You physically stick your body into the screen and go inside. He claimed there was another world in the TV, and dropping people inside it was the method behind last year's murders.
This all sounds rather absurd. I'm surprised it was included in the police report.
I got in touch with the detective in charge at the time and said the same thing. Apparently the report was filed by a young partner of his at the time. He'd entertained the wildest testimonies like this one.
He sounds like quite the oddball.
If this was what really went on, the police would have had no chance cracking it. But that Detective Dojima is one shrewd guy. Even with all the supernatural hocus-pocus surrounding the case, he caught the culprit.
Kurosawa-san sighs. He seems to be tired.
That's all I have for you right now. I should be going. I doubt either of us has time to reminisce over the old days. It's funny, though. I thought the fighting was over, but you guys surprise me every time I see you.
Thank you very much, Officer Kurosawa. Why don't we at least see you off?
Oh, that's all right. I've got my own car. I doubt my department would appreciate your tastes. If I ever showed up for work in something like this, I'd be the talk of the force until the day I retired.
He opens the door himself and exits the vehicle. He gives a short farewell and leaves without turning back even once.
Mitsuru-san, this could be bad. Our sense of social aptitude is in question.
I can't deny that.
What should we do now?
Yes. First, we'll need to test the claim that persona users can enter TVs.
Hearing this reminds me of something. Looking around the area again. Although I had called it a vehicle disposal site, there are also household electronics such as refrigerators discarded here. In a corner is a stack of TVs.
There is a discarded TV over there. If the environment does not matter, we can use it to test the phenomenon.
I voluntarily get out of the vehicle.
Wait, I guess.
Don't worry. I'm just going to touch it.
I extend my right hand and touch the screen of the biggest TV I can see. My fingers brush the glass screen. But although I seem to be touching it, I feel no resistance from its surface. I push my hand forward a little more. A weak light runs across the screen and my forearm sinks into it.
Amazing!
Rings of light spread from the contact of my arm, ripping like water across a pond.
Interesting. It's exactly as the police report said. What's it like inside? Do you feel anything?
Not particularly. No. Wait a moment.
My sensor detects a sensation I've never felt before, but the knowledge of what it is already recorded within me.
It's the same as mine. It's hard to say definitively since this is my first encounter with it, but I believe this reading is from a personality module.
Does that mean our retrieval target is inside the TV?
Huh. Sounds like fun.
Huh. I hear a voice come from an unexpected direction. Mitsuru-san and I look towards it. What we see is a silhouette wearing a low hood that covers his eyes and a tattered cape billowing in the wind like a figure from a western. He's standing atop a mountain of trash with his arms crossed.
Is that Akihiko?
He jumps down nimbly and walks towards us.
You didn't show up at the rendezvous point, so I went looking and found you here. This whole TV thing is Pretty interesting.
I would never forget the man laughing so fearlessly. Like Mitsuru-san, he's a friend I once fought alongside, Akihiko Sanada. He was a student boxing champion in his school days and a staunch ally, powerful even without his persona. He's also our second collaborator on this case.
It's been a while, Akihiko-san.
Yeah, good seeing you.
Akihiko, what on earth are you wearing? Just what were you doing overseas?
Didn't I tell you that I was on a training expedition?
Don't tell me you came here from the airport like that. Does the concept of keeping a low profile mean nothing to you?
Mitsuru-san, I believe we have lost the right to complain about that.
Mitsuru-san's eyes in annoyance. Oh yes, Akihiko-san was on a training expedition overseas until this morning. As a result, his appearance is very different from the last time I saw him. But his aggressive personality and love of a challenge seems to be the same as always. He gives a cocky smile and smacks his palm with a fist.
Anyway, we can get inside from that TV, right? And what are we waiting for?
Still the same Akihiko. We don't know the situation inside yet, and we'll need a secure means of getting out.
So what? If we want to get this Labrys back, someone has to go inside, right?
Well, that's...
Our target hijacked a plane to throw her into a TV in this town. If we sit on our hands, it's possible we'll be put in serious danger.
Akihiko-san steps forward towards Mitsuru-san as if pressing her.
We're different from how we used to be. We made the choice to fight shadows as professionals. That's why I traveled around the world and trained harder than ever. And now that something's actually come up, you're hesitating? We agreed to do this. I'm ready to stake my life on the mission.
Akihiko-san's opinion is a bit strong, but he's not incorrect. It's probable that Akihiko-san understands that being slightly forceful is his role. Because Mitsuru-san takes caution seriously as the ultimate authority in this case, she frequently second-guesses herself. I have seen Akihiko-san's words cut through her hesitation in the past. It shows his trust in Mitsuru-san not to make decisions in error.
All right. Wait right here. I need to go make a phone call first.
Okay, but make it quick.
Ich will endlich kämpfen. Oh, Anime. Nice.
The other members will wait here in the car.
Yeah. If we all barge in and something happens, they'll be devastated.
Now that you mention it, at least one of us should be staying behind as well.
I am not staying.
Us three will be plenty. We'll end this in a flash. No problem.
The same as always. Although, we have no idea what might be waiting for us on the other side. Don't get careless.
Right.
This situation, it brings back memories.
Ready!
Yay!
Why enter the TV? What's going on?
Auto! Was macht die denn da? Schon 2 Szenen durch bei der Story und noch kein einziges Mal gekämpft, ey. Langweilig! I'm surrounded by a white light that strains most of my senses to their limits. A portion of my senses indicates that I am currently in a state similar to free fall. I can't tell up and down from left and right. This continues for a while. Bei Teddy war's auch so. Kann ich mich gar nicht mehr dran erinnern. Aber kann gut sein, ja. Test. Was testest du? Hi Test, falls du da bist. Eventually my functions slowly recover. Ah, da ist er. Hallo. Also, ich hab hier noch gar nicht. Also, Abstimmung auf Smashcast, ne? Also Tokio. Ups, Moment, ich hab Tokio Dschungel falsch geschrieben. Ich habe gewusst, das Wort sieht komisch aus. Auf Smashcast gibt es gleich eine Abstimmung, welches Spiel ihr als nächstes sehen möchtet. So. Okay. So, jetzt sollte es sein. Ein Freund, Testsubject, hat gerade mit dem Zusehen begonnen. Nice. Schreibt's immer, wenn wer da ist. Das ist cool. Okay. So, Test, falls du wissen möchtest, was du verpasst hast, eigentlich nicht viel. Wir sind ja gerade am Anfang von der Aegis-Storyline. Im Endeffekt gab es ein bisschen Gelaber, bisschen Situationsbesprechung und so weiter. Weil dieses Labrys-Zeug ist ja geklaut worden und die haben anscheinend rausgefunden, dass die jetzt in Inaba ist einerseits und andererseits innerhalb von der TV-Welt. Und die sind jetzt gerade eben in den Fernseher reingegangen und ja, an sich nicht wirklich was verpasst. Hallo Teddy. General Teddy. Hallo. Eventually, my functions slowly recover. I find myself inside an unknown room, sitting with one knee up. I quickly stand and check my surroundings.
Is this the music room of a school?
I can see a music stand, a grand piano, a blackboard and portraits. There's an air of over-exaggerated theatrics to it, but I may not be far from the truth. Is this the world inside the TV? After surreality of entering a TV screen, this comes as quite a surprise.
No sign of Mitsuru-san or Akihiko-san. Did they land elsewhere? So much noise. I can't contact anyone like this.
I attempt to use my communicator, but there's no response. This looks like an ordinary classroom, but it has an alarming amount of radio interference. When I concentrate my senses again, I detect a bizarre disturbance from the entire area that is unlike normal buildings. This may be another world after all. In any case, I must join up with Mitsuru-san and Akihiko-san. But just as I begin to make plans to do so, the monitor hanging from the ceiling switches on. What appears on it is, how to describe it, a bizarre figure that looks like a living costume.
I spy an unknown yet bewitching babe. How unexpected! Unexpected!
Its comical tone does not last long before the voice becomes distorted and the image disappears. It reminded me of a malfunctioning machine. I stare at the monitor. I have a hunch that I will return soon. Just that it will return soon. Just as I thought, the costume reappears, but its behavior is very different now.
Case 04, unintended intruder. Entering elimination process.
Its mechanical sounding voice is completely different from the choking tone it had before. And that phrase, elimination process. It seems that a battle will be starting. I realize the safeties from the weapons built into my body. That's when a large noise comes from behind me.
Whoa!
A young man in a school uniform comes rolling in with a yell.
A human?
Kanji.
Jeez, they decided to open right then. This place makes no damn sense.
I thought that I was ready for any eventuality, but I had not expected to suddenly encounter a human.
Are you alright? You seem to be unharmed.
The young man looks back at me, a steady gaze, while fixing his bleached hair with his fingers. His behavior does not seem to be that of one who came in pursuit of me.
What? Never seen you before.
I'm sorry, I haven't introduced myself. My name is Aegis.
Besitzer Rizos. Okay.
I'm a transfer student. I have blue eyes, blonde hair.
Only then do I remember that my appearance would seem very peculiar to a casual observer.
Gatling cannon.
Huh?
I'm sorry, forget what I said. In the past, that prepared explanation for students has been effective, but no longer.
Okay. Anyways, I'm Kanji Tatsumi. This mean you're my next opponent?
Opponent? What do you mean?
What do I mean? I'm talking about a scrap!
You mean a fight? But we have only met Tatsumi-san. Actually, where are we?
Enough blabbering, you machine!
With a yell, he slams the folding chair in his hand on the ground. A cold, dull, metallic sound echoes and eliminates any possibility for talking this over.
What's a fake girl like you doing calling me by my name?
I go quiet. A fake girl. I understand how I might elicit such a reaction, but there is pain in my chest. Though I cannot help but smile at how instinctively I reacted that way. As it seems I have become more human-like than I knew.
I was worried I might have to go up against my senpai, but I ain't gonna hold back against a robot like you.
Thinking with a calm mind, I notice a small incongruity in his attitude. When he first saw me, he seemed unsure and claimed that he had not seen me before. Yet though he knows now that I am a machine, he doesn't seem particularly surprised. Aren't those two things contradictory? I focus my senses once more and enhance the gain on my sensors. I detect a faint interference. Because it had appeared uniformly across all my sensors, I hadn't been aware of it. What is this?
If you're not gonna do anything, I'll make the first move! Take Mikazuchi!
Ah!
A persona?
Light flickers intermittently. Could that be electricity? A thick, barrel-like arm charged with voltage approaches from above. I jump back and narrowly escape. I jump back and narrowly escape a crushing blow.
Nice dodge. Looks like you got at least a little bit of fight in you.
A persona user. I was careless. I should have expected that possibility since I counted him inside the TV. I do not know the procedure for attacking a human, but if he is a Persona user, I must defend myself with the usual armament.
There is no avoiding this fight. I cannot fall here.
Langweilig, im nächsten Teil brauchen wir was Neues. Ich weiß es nicht. Also im dritten Teil waren es ja Pistolen. Im vierten Teil waren es Tarotkarten. Und im fünften Teil sind es halt Masken. Ich weiß gar nicht, was es im ersten und im zweiten Teil war. Die kenne ich gar nicht. First Match, endlich mal wieder. Nee. Wow. Oh, fuck off. Nah. Es kommt davon, wenn man stundenlang das Spiel spielt und kein einziges Mal kämpfen darf, wegen Story. Kommt man total aus der Übung. Ende. Yay.
Welcome to the
Very well.
Final.
Kanji Tatsumi's here and spoiling for a fight.
Ruhiger Mode. Was? Oh, schön. Werbung Spiel. Ah.
Will they damage this strike? Fire! Here, Persona, rise up! I'm striking! Persona! Cannon!
Damn it! That's nothing!
We'll break this
Take
down!
this! Push it!
Here! Fire! This is quite a summon here! Persona, rise up! Go down! Up going! Going! Up the meeting! What a fierce attack!
Out with me!
Stand it!
Damn it!
Cannon!
You ain't gonna underestimate me!
Will they turn the tables? Fire! Fire!
Damn it!
I failed. Athena!
You ain't
Will it
bad!
all be over in moments? Evaded. Go down! I failed. Now, will they go for the system error ready? I failed. Can they keep up momentum? No! What? Not electricity? Is anyone damaged now? Charging!
Ah!
Now!
Dreck.
Has the battle been decided? I failed. I failed. Back. I failed. Still standing. Persona forward.
That's nothing!
I failed.
See ya!
Both sides have them in stand this position. Hit home. Persona. I failed. Athena.
You ain't bad!
Whoever lands
Eat
next
this.
attack will win.
You ain't bad! Out with face!
This is it. I failed. How will it all come out?
Whoa!
It can't. I failed. Yikes! They're shot.
Fuck!
System error.
Push ya!
Ich verstehe noch nicht genau, wann man diesen Super Persona Scheiß machen kann. Wann nicht. Weil ich hatte unten die 150 drin, aber irgendwie ging es nicht.
Game over!
Weil ich habe das die ganze Zeit versucht. Hätte ich gecheckt, dass das irgendwie... Oder ich gewusst, dass das nicht irgendwie doch nicht geht, dann hätte ich es auch gelassen und hätte irgendwas anderes gemacht. Ich hätte den Kampf ganz gerne so beendet, aber... Ich verstehe noch nicht genau... Ich verstehe noch nicht ganz genau, was abhängig davon ist. Yo.
Are you all right, Tatsumi-san?
I helped Tatsumi-san up off the ground and called to him. After repeating myself several times, I hear a groan.
No! Damn it! Ow! Oh, whoa! Hands off!
I'm sorry. If you can't stand, then I'll carry you.
I pick up Tatsumi-san, who is still lying down with both arms.
Whoa! Damn! You're a hell of a lot stronger than you look. Whoa, 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 whoa! How come you're carrying me like this? Like a bride or something?
This is the spousal method of carrying.
No, it ain't. It's the bridal... Oh, wait a sec. Are they pretty much the same thing?
Tatsumi-san, you seem completely fine.
That's what I've been saying! And stop with the Tatsumi-san crap. It's making my skin crawl. Just call me Kanji.
You don't object to being called that? I'm an artificial person, after all.
Huh? Who cares? If I say it's fine, then it's fine. And will you put me down already?
When I put Kanji-san down as requested, he turns his back and repeatedly scratches his head. I feel as if his demeanor has changed compared to how it was before the fight. His loud voice and rough words are the same, but the sense that he will not listen to a word I say is gone. I feel that I can make myself understood now.
Well then, Kanji-san, allow me to ask again. Where are we? And what did you mean by opponent?
Eh? You're not an enemy that Ted set up for me?
Ted? Are you referring to the bear who appeared on the monitor?
This is a fighting tournament. Only the winners get to keep going. I lost this time. But oh well. I wouldn't make it in the big leagues.
That sounds like something Akihiko-san would say.
Huh?
Sorry, I was just talking to myself.
Gotta say, you pack one hell of a punch. Got me real good.
Punch? But I didn't throw any punches.
Listen though, the rest of this tournament ain't gonna be so easy.
Oh,
My
wenig
senpai
anders.
are waiting up ahead.
There are more people here. Could you estimate how many?
Ah ja, wie gesagt, das Spiel ist ein paar Jahre älter als Persona 4. Kann sein, dass sich da die Stimmen ein bisschen geändert haben von den Synchronsprechern. Also ein bisschen anders hört er sich schon an, aber sehr dem Original ähnlich. Daher nehme ich an, dass es trotzdem dennoch derselbe Synchronsprecher ist. Kanji-san smiles dauntlessly and gives me a thumbs up. I don't really understand why, but I give him a thumbs up as well. Good job! Then Kanji-san kneels over. I rush in to catch him. When I look into his face, it is still smirking, but he has passed out. It seems he was fighting through his fatigue for the sake of his pride. He doesn't seem injured, so I carefully set him back down on the floor. Suddenly, that costume Kanji-san called it Teddy appears again on the monitor.
Intruders are persona users. Due to difficulties in elimination, they will be acknowledged as valid targets.
It's using that mechanical tone of voice again. The intruders must be me and the others. Since I won't be easy to eliminate, it appears that he's changing tactics. But what could he mean by valid targets? Stimme. Kann natürlich sein, ja. Gibt ja viele Sachen, wodurch sich eine Stimme ändern kann oder so. The monitor's screen turns off once again. Just like before, it flickers back on after a few seconds. Oh.
Woohoo! What a fox! Came to join in on our fun?
It's the same face as before, but a completely different attitude.
I'm A-okay with that if you're up for a little fighting. I'll wait for you in the next arena up ahead.
This is more how he sounded at the beginning. He's gone back to normal, or at least recovered from the abnormality. Abnormality. Blah.
I am General Teddy. Remember that name well.
Allgemein bessere Qualität halt, weil das Spiel hier ist ja eine Konsolengeneration weiter als das Original Persona 4. Daher kann es allein von der Qualität, die ausgegeben werden kann, da auch schon mal halt sich anders anhören. Ich nehme an, bei der PlayStation 2, heißt bei Persona 4, werden sie, um halt Speicherplatz zu sparen und so weiter, halt auch Sound entsprechend bisschen nicht ganz so qualitativ hochwertig machen. Da haben sie für die Xbox 360 und PlayStation 3 auf jeden Fall mehr Ressourcen, sage ich mal. Und da kann sich eine Stimme auch schon mal anders anhören. Kennt man ja zum Beispiel, wenn man jetzt mit jemandem telefoniert. Da wird ja die Stimme auch entsprechend von der Qualität her runtergesenkt, damit das anständig übertragen werden kann. Und wenn man dann mit der gleichen Person im echten Leben spricht, kann sich die auch mal ganz anders anhören oder halt entsprechend etwas anders. Gibt bestimmt seine Gründe, warum das sich so anhört. General Teddy, apparently he really is a teddy bear. He doesn't seem like one, but a number of things he said caught my attention. Joining in on our fun and arena. These are in line with the tournament Kanji-san mentioned. Is this tournament being held here? But the monitor is silent once again and does not return. I do not think I will make any progress if I remain here. I poke my head through the door where Kanji-san appeared to check my surroundings. What looks like a school hallway leads straight ahead. There appears to be no danger nearby. I manage to hoist Kanji-san's body over my shoulder and try to leave the room.
What?
But something gets stuck and prevents me from proceeding. I stop and check, but I cannot see any obstructions. Both of the sliding doors fell off when Kanji-san came in, and the way is completely open. It should be wide enough for me to pass through easily, even with a person over my shoulder. Yet I cannot proceed. Something is getting stuck. I slow my walking speed and check to see what part of me is getting caught. That is how I discover something surprising. Nothing is blocking the way, yet only Kanji-san's body cannot pass through the door. It seems there's an invisible wall, One that is selective and prevents only Kanji-san's passage between the room and the hallway. Something Kanji-san said comes back to me. Only the winners get to keep going. Is this what he meant? I increase the sensitivity of my various senses, but I cannot detect any wall here. I have no way of destroying what I cannot touch, which means I have no choice but to leave Kanji-san here.
Oh well. I will come back for you later. Please stay safe until then.
Once he comes around, he's still a Persona user. It's not as if I'm leaving someone behind who can't fend for himself. I reluctantly convince myself to move on. While moving down the hallway, my senses continue to pick up disturbances from everything in the school. It all looks so normal though. There's a line of glass windows on the wall. Outside is a field level with the ground I am walking on. I seem to be on the first floor of the building. Eventually I reach a doorway and cautiously venture outside. There's barely any difference in temperature or atmospheric composition compared to the real world. But the lack of wind is unnatural, and there are other discrepancies between here and there. I turn around and inspect the building's exterior. This is indeed a school. I walk along the wall and go around the building. Soon I reach what seems to be the main gate. I turn towards the school building once again and come to a realization.
I recognize this place.
I have seen a photo from this angle in the preparation materials. As I recall, this is a high school in Inaba. To make sure, I step past the school gate and check the nameplate. The name engraved in the gate's pillar is Yasugami High School. I cross-reference the name with a map of the area and find a match. This is confusing. A real-world location has been completely recreated inside the TV. Why is it structured like nesting boxes? Just then, I sense something move in the corner of my vision. I quickly turn and view it from the front. It is a uniformed girl. She's running straight through in the opposite direction of the field. Is she a student? No, this is not a real school. Could she be one of the senpai Kanji-san spoke of? But a moment's thought highlights an important detail. Her pale skin and hair color.
That's...
There can be no mistake. It's the girl I saw for a moment at the airport after the hijacking. I immediately chase after her, but the girl is much faster than I anticipate and I cannot close the distance. Es wäre echt nicht schlecht, wenn sie eventuell ein paar Pixel schwarze Kontur um die Schrift gemacht hätten, damit man die einfacher lesen kann. Weil wenn so weiße Schrift auf relativ hellem Hintergrund ist, wie bei manchen Hintergrundbildern, dann ist die manchmal nicht so ganz gut erkennbar. I release a portion of my foot speed limiters and finally get close. Was denn? Das ist doch so. Until I am able to grasp her right arm from behind.
Huh?
The girl stops and turns around. There's surprise on her face, but she stares in wide-eyed wonder at my form. Though I am surprised myself. That instant I take her hand, a flash of intuition charges through me like electricity. This girl is Labris. I am unaccountably convinced.
Who are you? That's one funny-looking costume you've got on.
Oh, well,
Oh, of course. You're all mixed up in this racket too, aren't you?
Racket? Does she mean the tournament?
No, I am not in this tournament of my own free will.
Really? Then you mind letting me go? I'm the student council president. I can't be letting people run wild at this school.
Student council president?
Didn't I tell you to let me go? Are you trying to get in the way of my work here?
Work here? The girl looks at me with an irritated expression. How strange. She speaks as if she really is leading an ordinary life here at the school. If she was aware that she was inside the TV, would she say such things to me?
If you happen to know, could you please tell me what sort of place this is?
Huh? It's the first floor of the classroom building. Can't you tell?
Huh? Is it possible that you don't recall entering a TV?
A TV? Listen, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm kind of in a hurry here. Can I go now?
Before you do, please tell me something. Who are you?
Who? What'd you stop me for if you didn't even know? I just told you. I'm the student council president. What hole have you been hiding in? The elections were just last week. Are we done now? 'Cause I got places to be.
The girl ends the conversation sternly, shakes off my hand and runs away again. In an instant, she has disappeared into the school building.
Please, wait!
I go after her, but just as I enter the hallway and round the first bend, something blocks my path, but I can't see what it is at all. I can't see it, yet when I reach out my hand, I can feel it. I think I know what this is.
That wall again!
The invisible wall that prevented Kanji-san's passage. It's most likely the same thing. Once again, I am surprised. I can touch it, yet my senses detect nothing. And it's much stronger than I had imagined. It repels even gunfire, let alone physical strikes. I attempted various methods to destroy it, but before I can, the girl disappears from view.
It seems I am forced to try a different route.
I consider the situation once more. Was that girl truly Labrys? There are too many factors now indicating otherwise. Her appearance and the feel of her arm when I grasped it a moment ago. Both are strong signs that she is human. If she's entirely artificial, then she could not be part of an older generation of models than myself. Her speaking voice and behavior were both also indicative of known human patterns. According to the records of Labrys' development, she was sealed away soon after. Even I stumble with natural human speech. She could not have become so proficient in so short a time. She's not a machine, but a human, so she cannot be Labrys. Usually I would not hesitate to make such a judgment based on the available data. Yet I still cannot shake the feeling that she may be Labrys. That intuition I felt earlier, what caused it? This case remains murky. I feel as if my senses are being muffled by a thin cloth. But I cannot leave her be, even if she is not Labrys. That fact itself means that she's in danger. I quickly looked for an alternate route. I backtracked that way I came and run outside. Suddenly I am enveloped in a tidal wave of sound. These are human voices. The cheering comes from an enormous crowd. I turn around and a thick mass of people runs towards me out of nowhere. They are boys and girls in school uniforms. It was clear that everyone is looking at me.
This is impossible.
How did I fail to detect so many humans? But then I notice it. There's white noise running through all my senses. It is the same feeling that I had before fighting Kanji-san. What is this? As I stand in thought, the students close in on me. I asked what business they have with me, but the uproar drowns out my voice. I cannot attack them, so I have no choice but to edge backwards. Soon my back is against a wall. I looked around for an escape route. Luckily, there was a door beside me. I hurry inside to find shelter. The room I have entered appears to be spacious. It is dark here, but I believe it is the gymnasium. Here and there, folding chairs and gym equipment are piled in heaps. It looks like the result of some strange ritual. Suddenly a light shines in the corner. Upon close inspection, I can see a monitor showing something. It is airing some familiar faces. Bitte die komische Werbung. Ja.
Rivals. They are friends, yet powerful foes. The desperate fighting program amongst high school students. A new legend is about to start.
Yay!
May the manliest of all men come on down!
Nobody touches his precious Nanako, the sister complex kingpin of steel, Yu Narukami!
It's only natural.
Wage slave in the boonies by day, hero by night, Captain Resentiment, Yosuke Hanamura!
Everything that bores me has gotta go!
A spunky dragon with deadly legs, the carnivore who's discarded womanhood, Chie Satonaka!
You need to eat more meat!
Please escort me to the ring, my prince! The unconquerable Snow Black, Yukiko Amagi!
I'll finish you in one strike!
Blooming roses and bulging muzzles, the blood-curdling beefcake emperor, Kanji Tatsumi! Deep into realms of romance, the body of a child, the brain of a genius, the 2000 IQ killjoy detective, Naoto Shirogane!
Is this an army of idiots?
Fight and survive towards the one throne waiting at the end! The P1 Grand Prix where fierce fights will be fought! The battle begins tonight!
Yeah! I'm not sure what to say about that video. It seems to be modeled after promotional videos for martial arts tournaments. I noticed appearances by Kanji-san and the host General Teddy. The other people shown must also be participants. It is safe to assume they are all Persona users. As of watching my reactions from somewhere, General Teddy appears on the monitor replacing the video.
Looks like you're officially getting in on the action. Welcome! Look, everyone, another challenger!
Without warning, there's a loud sound. All the doors in every direction open at once. Excited students pour in, cheering and yelling. Before I know it, I am surrounded by people with no means of escape. General Teddy grins at my situation and raises a stubby arm.
Well then, bring out the next opponent!
A spotlight shines on a spot where the crowd parts. A female student can be seen. She has short hair and wears a sweatshirt. She looks very athletic. I recognize her face from the video. Her name was Chie Satonaka. She steps in front of me, bouncing from foot to foot.
I heard that you're elbowing in on the tournament. Suits me fine. Let's do this!
As she finishes her speech, she takes a fighting stance.
Huh?
Ha! Just then, a gleaming silhouette appears behind her. It is another Persona. Up.
Ooh, she's ready and raring to go!
Chie-san extends a palm facing up and motions with her fingers taunting me. This is strange. Chie-san's willingness to fight is odd enough, but even stranger are the students in the crowd. Even when seeing a Persona up close, they show no signs of alarm. Come to think of it, how did they get here? I cannot believe that they are all Persona users. But even if they were, would they be so excited over such brutality? while stuck in a mysterious world filled with potential dangers that does not seem more likely. Perhaps my basic assumptions are faulty. Could they, like these buildings, be unreal? I cannot jump to conclusions, but I decide to take the offensive. I turn to the monitor. General Teddy is bouncing up and down gleefully.
I will fight on one condition.
Which is?
Interesting, he answered me. I can hold a conversation with him, which means he can see and hear me.
That you immediately release all these students from this school, or rather from this world. If you do that, I will fight as you wish.
Tut tut! Are you making demands to me? Before you get too worried about other people, why not worry about yourself?
I will not fight unless you guarantee their safety.
I glared General Teddy through the monitor. I didn't want to involve the students, but I have an idea.
Sheesh! What a stubborn girl!
He snaps his stubby fingers. The room instantly fills with light. I ward myself against it by covering my eyes. A few seconds later, the brightness fades to normal. As my eyes adjust, I see that the students have vanished.
Ta-da! Is that what you wanted?
The general smiles proudly. My guess was correct. If the students were fake, it is easier for him to remove them than to talk me into fighting. As a result, my senses detect the moment when the students disappear all at once. The only human here is Chie-san in front of me. Looking around, it seems that not everything disappeared. Human-like figures remain, as if the shadows of the students were burned into the scenery. There were several about the gymnasium. Their readings are similar to shadows, but they show no sign of hostility. So these are the true forms of those students. They have been unmasked.
Honestly, you're in no position to be making demands, you know. I'm making an exception just this once, because it's no fun if you don't both go at it tooth and claw. Even if you don't resist, your opponent will show no mercy. It'll be a grisly sight.
Come on, even if the crowd was still here, would you not have hit back when I hit you?
No. The safety of the people must be prioritized above all else.
Ha! That's pretty cool of you, actually.
Jetzt bist du ganz da.
Self-sacrifice
Wunderbar.
doesn't mean much coming from a machine. They can just fix you right up. Oh, that's right. It doesn't even count as self-sacrifice for a machine. It's just what you're programmed to do. You probably don't feel pain or anything, huh? It just seemed that way because you look human.
You may not understand, but I can sense pain as well.
Really? That's such a weird thing to program into a weapon. Doesn't make any sense to me.
That's...
As I struggle to answer, Chie-san smiles wide.
Well, that's fine with me. Means I can fight you without pulling any punches.
Her smile disappears and her eyes spark with fire as she launches herself at me. I would rather not fight her, but she's a persona user. I clench my teeth and make myself ready to intercept her.
If I must fight you, then I will.
Ha! Wir machen den Kampf jetzt noch. Danach machen wir erstmal ein bisschen Pause. Das ist eine komische Musik für den Kampf. Yo, yo, yo!
Firing! Persona, here! Go down! Can't damage! Here! This is turning into a very one-sided battle! Up Christina! Fire! Anti-air! No!
bunch of wood. You're cornered now. All right, it's over. Time to leave.
Ah, okay. Das wird sich gut anfühlen. Naja, ist ein bisschen viel los. Aber ich finde, es fühlt sich vom Gameplay her an wie ein normaler 2D-Fighter halt. Wie zum Beispiel Skullgirls oder Guilty Gear. Sowas. Also so wie Tekken oder wie Street Fighter fühlt sich's nicht an. Da ist Tekken und Street Fighter auf jeden Fall eine Stufe nochmal besser. Aber fühlt sich halt an wie so ein Standard 2D-Fighter. Bloß halt mit Persona-Charakteren. Also schlecht ist es nicht. Problem ist halt einfach nur, dass extrem viel Story zwischen einzelnen Kämpfen ist. Teilweise auch super viel. Jetzt wie zum Beispiel am Anfang von der Aegis-Storyline hast du halt, was weiß ich, 1-2 Stunden Story. Ja, obwohl 1-2 Stunden jetzt nicht unbedingt, aber sagen wir mal eine Stunde Story. Und du kommst halt nicht wirklich oft zum Kämpfen. Von der insgesamten Spielzeit her. Und so ist es halt wirklich schwer, außer du tust im Hauptmenü noch ein bisschen trainieren oder sonst irgendwie nebenbei was machen. Ist halt, wenn du nur den Story-Modus spielst, ist halt extrem schwer, da anständig reinzukommen und besser zu werden, sozusagen. Aber so vom Gameplay her ist auf jeden Fall nicht schlecht. Weil da gibt es auch Techniken wie zum Beispiel Cancels und so weiter. Und Kombos sowieso, wenn man sie kann, Cancels. Damit man halt dann auch wieder in andere Kombos reinkommt und so weiter. Also vom Kampf-Gameplay her, wenn man es kann es auch sehr gut sein und so weiter. Bloß ist halt ein bisschen, ja, diese extrem langen Story-Teile teilweise sind halt echt ein bisschen sehr, ja, nicht super gut. Noch nicht viel kämpft. Ja, wenn man die ganzen Charaktere anschaut, wo man halt Story-Modus mitmachen kann, dann auf jeden Fall kommt da auf jeden Fall noch ein bisschen was dazu. Also insgesamt Story-Modus sind wir wahrscheinlich noch lange nicht mal bei der Hälfte. Besonders bei den Story-Teilen, die ich schon gemacht habe, kommt ja danach noch mehr. Also die Story an sich von Yuna Rokami, also dem Persona 4 Hauptprotagonisten, und Teddy, die wurden ja beide unterbrochen, to be continued und so weiter. Und danach kommt ja noch was. Also noch mehr Kämpfe und Story und so weiter. Bei denen ihre eigenen Storyline und so weiter. Also, da kommt auf jeden Fall noch einiges. Gehe ich stark davon aus.